Namaste. In this podcast, I have talked briefly about Venus in all 12 signs. Venus is just like that pure water. पानी का कोई रंग नहीं होता. Meaning, water has no color of its own. वो जिस रंग से मिलता है उस रंग का बन जाता है. Meaning, the color with which it associates, it becomes of that shade. Similarly, Venus gives its result based on the sign it occupies. The sign gives a certain shade to it, a certain color to it. And what are these colors? What are these shades? That is what I have discussed in this podcast. How is Venus in Aries? How is Venus in Taurus? How is Venus in Pisces? And how is Venus in Cancer? So all these 12 signs gives different shades to Venus, and accordingly Venus gives its result. And in the end, I have shared a beautiful story. Do listen to that story. Always remember, astrology should not become a dry logic. Astrology becomes interesting when there is a certain philosophy in it, when there is certain spirituality in it, and when there is a beautiful story also that gives you deeper insights of human life. So let's begin. Venus signifies sexual behavior as well as love relationships. However, in astrology, one planet cannot provide the end result. It provides the end result based on its association and aspects with signs and other planets. However, in this podcast, I am simply going to quickly give you a taste of Venus in all 12 signs. Venus in Aries gets quickly in physical relationship. This is a very candid position for Venus. Such a native wants to mingle quickly, and so if you have Venus in Aries, then you will not hesitate to get quickly physical with the woman or man you love. Aries Venus is very impulsive in love matters. They are quick to fall in love and their relationship also ends abruptly. Venus in Taurus needs a lot of romantic dose. Such a woman or man are more filmy and generally love to add a spice of drama in their love life. Venus in Taurus woman or man are good in the art of love making. They take great interest in Kama Sutra. Sometimes I wonder if Vatsayan also had this placement because he scripted the Kama Sutra with so much passion and dedication. Kama Sutra is probably the only ancient scripture that details the various sexual positions and describes the art of lovemaking in detail. Venus in Taurus are foodie by heart and they generally like to travel and watch cinema and enjoy life. They are pleasure seeking people and they just love to have fun. Venus in Gemini needs a lot of romantic talk before doing the actual sexual act. These natives seem to be very much interested in all kind of sexual talks that excite them to just do it. Venus in Gemini native also has good command over language. They can say exactly those things that can make you feel good and excited. Talkative girlfriends who keep messaging and calling generally have a very strong Venus in Gemini. If you fall in love with a woman having Venus in Gemini, then be aware she will keep you engaged with constant messaging and phone calls. Venus in Cancer is my favorite. I like these kind of natives as they are very caring towards their relationship partners. They are very slow in their approach, and generally, a woman with Venus in Cancer will definitely not jump in the bed unless she is 100% sure about your character, and unless she feels 100% secure in your company. Once you have a girlfriend with Venus in Cancer, then you are in safe hands because she will take a lot of care, and sometimes you will feel that she is just the way your mother is, very caring, loving, and understanding by nature. My favorite, therefore, is Venus in Cancer. Venus in Leo is all about show off. These natives are very open about their feelings, and generally they will not indulge in any shady love affairs. Instead, they will openly walk together hand in hand and declare to the world that they are in love with each other. I appreciate this placement because the woman or man is simply very liberal, not very clinging, and kind of reflects a very straightforward attitude when it comes to expressing love and falling in love. Venus in Leo will not express their love verbally by saying, I love you. Instead, they will show it through their actions. They will give you a royal treatment. They will take you to the best restaurants in the town. They will gift you expensive items. They will take you on a long ride. So, through their actions, they will make you feel special. And then one fine day, you would fall in love. And then once they come to know that you are in love, they will propose you in a very grand manner, or rather in a very dramatic way, because Leo loves drama and they are indeed very good at it. Venus in Virgo is all about those little things of life. A native with Venus in Virgo is indeed a very unique person. He will not talk about your new dress, rather, he will take care that your new dress is not spoiled. He will not appreciate your beauty, rather, he will ensure that you use the best and safest beauty products and that your makeup remains intact throughout the day. He will ensure that you eat hygienic food and that you remain fit and fine. So you see, Virgo native is a lover who cares for all those small things in your life. And I think this is a very unique and sweet way of expressing love towards the person you love. Now, the other side is that your lover may expect you to be more romantic, to go out in the streets and enjoy street food, to dance in the rains. But Virgo Venus will hesitate because you may catch cold if you dance in the rains. So you see, then some may address the poor Venus Virgo native as unromantic, but in reality, he is romantic. But he is too much focused on safety, hygiene, and the nature of detailing can lead to your mood off. So that is why Venus in Virgo should never marry or have a relationship with Venus in Libra or Venus in Taurus, because they are too romantic. They are wild and happy-go-lucky fellows, while our Virgo Venus native is a very practical, play-safe type native. Maybe that is why Venus is not so happy in Virgo. And so Venus debilitates in Virgo. Debilitated Venus can also cause sexual perversion. Venus in Libra is that wild, romantic, intellectual woman whom you just can't miss. Generally, this Libra Venus gives an aura of joyousness around the native. The native has very refined taste and generally will settle only for the best brands. These are very brand conscious people. They generally associate with a certain elite class of people. Even if a woman or man with Libra Venus is born in a slum area, still they will rise and associate themselves with the elite class. Venus in Libra is a very interesting person. You will not be bored because these natives are like walking encyclopedia. They are filled with poetry and they make your life juicy because they are so juicy. A dry person, meaning a very logical, calculative person, will be a curse for such a beautiful Venus Libra native. Venus Libra are experts in the art of love making and they also understand the significance of a good sexual life. Venus in Scorpio is a man of passions. He or she is so much passionate about their relationship, so much passionate about their work, so much passionate about their studies that they bring a certain depth to every situation they come across. These are intense lovers. If you fall in love with a woman with Venus in Scorpio, then she will not hesitate to do anything for you. She is full of passion and she expects you also to be as passionate as she is. In a way, I love Venus in Scorpio. Yes, it is too intense. Yes, it is too loud. Yes, it is too deep. But that is what brings a certain spice in life. When a Scorpio Venus man falls in love with a woman, then he will not hesitate to take a risk. He will sacrifice everything just for you. Reminds me of that movie Superman, when the hero sacrifices all his supernatural powers for the love of his life, and her name is Lois. I truly appreciate such kind of deep love. Love that is ready to sacrifice. Love that knows no limits. Love that is willing to jump in the unknown. Remember, love affair is all about jumping into the unknown. Venus in Sagittarius sign is a man of principles. He will fall in love abruptly, but he will jump in the bed only when he is committed to you. He is not a man who enjoys one night stand, or she is not a woman who just sleeps for one night and then disappears. Such natives gives a lot of importance to commitment. So if you have got a girlfriend having Venus in Sagittarius, then she is truly committed to you. Such natives also bring a lot of philosophy, higher ideals to their relationship. Such a woman definitely becomes a mother or a wife who loves to give daily dose of morality, ethics and higher principles. In a way, this is a likable placement, and I think any sensible person should not hesitate to associate with a woman having Venus in Sagittarius simply because she knows her limits and she would never cross her line, and similarly, she would also expect you to remain in your limits and not to cross the line. Such women are idealists, philosophers, and they raise the quality of life to new heights. I certainly like this placement. However, please note that Venus in Cancer and Venus in Sagittarius is not a good match. One is very sensitive and caring, while the other is very dashing and idealist by nature. Venus in Capricorn native is a very pragmatic person. Such a native takes a lot of time before giving a commitment. And if you are having a girlfriend with this placement, then she will remain very loyal to you. And if you have a boyfriend with Venus in Capricorn, then he will be a very loyal fellow who will always be with you in all your thick and thins of life. Venus in Capricorn takes love as a responsibility. So when he proposes you and says those three magical words, I love you, he means it. First of all, these natives take a lot of time to propose, and once they propose, they will stay committed. In fact, they propose only when they get strong signals that the person they love is also in love with them. Generally, these are fellows who look forward to having a long term, stable relationship. Gemini Venus and Leo Venus will turn them off because Gemini Venus is like a bird who hesitates to commit, and Leo Venus is a show off person which Capricorn Venus dislikes. So, apart from these two types, rest all goes well with our cool and steady Capricorn Venus natives. Venus in Aquarius are totally like those aliens who come from another planet. Their idea of love is very progressive. They would not mind sleeping with a woman whom they love. They would not mind having a one night stand. They go by their intellectuality and less by morals and ethics. Having said this, it is not that they are people of loose characters, but it is just that they don't like to bring any rigid rules and age old traditions in between their love interests. When you love, you simply love. This is what they truly believe in, and so they would not think a lot. They are spontaneous by nature. Love is also spontaneous. There is no thinking, no talking, but just feeling the warmth of love and just doing it and enjoying the bliss of the moment is what these natives believe in. They are not very caring natives. They also are not very emotional like Cancer Venus. And so these natives generally should not associate with girlfriend or boyfriend having Venus in Cancer. Similarly, Venus in Virgo is a straight no for these natives. Aquarius loves freedom, liberal thoughts, enjoying sex without having any boundaries. All these is against the rules of Venus Virgo natives, and so this marriage never works. The marriage between Venus Virgo and Venus Aquarius. Overall, these are fun lovers. They are highly intellectual people and they just love to live their life in their own way. My way or highway is what their slogan is. And finally, we come to the last sign, Pisces, my favorite sign, Pisces. Venus in Pisces is the peak of pure love, the most refined love, the most unconditional love is found with Venus in Pisces. The woman with this position is actually a very interesting character. She also takes great interest in spirituality and she understands the true essence of love. And the same goes with man having Venus in Pisces. The most striking characteristic of this placement is that these natives do not hesitate when it comes to sacrifice for love. They understand that true love is sacrifice. It is in giving, not in getting, not in gaining. It is in realizing, not in possessing, that we love. Refined love, idealist love, moral love, pragmatic love, detailing love. Till now, all the 11 signs showed various shades of love. But Pisces is beyond all. For Pisces, to not to be, to completely lose yourself for the sake of love is what matters above all. Venus is exalted in Pisces because love blossoms in a selfless environment. Love grows when there is no possessiveness. And this kind of environment is only possible in the sign of Pisces, the last sign, the 12th sign, the ending of all miseries. That is why Pisces is my favorite zodiac. Ketu also rejoices in Pisces. Jupiter dwells in Pisces and Venus exalts in Pisces. What else you want? This is the culmination of all great things. Venus is always very comfortable in watery signs. So good sexual life and a promising love life is possible with Venus in Pisces. So, Venus is beautiful, but it is the sign that gives its beauty a new look, a new shade, a new dimension. Just the way a beautiful dress is. The dress is beautiful, but it will show its charisma based on the woman or man who wears it. And therefore, signs matter a lot. The sign that your Venus has occupied for this birth is based on your past life tastes and your past life behavior patterns. The results of Venus in all 12 signs is a generic overview that I have shared, and much depends on which planet conjuncts Venus, which planet aspects your Venus in your personal birth chart. Always remember, when your love relationship breaks, when your wife leaves you, or when your wife abandons you, when your husband cheats and leaves you for another woman, all this happens because there is a past life karmic connection. Always remember, nothing happens in this life without a reason. And the reason is you and your past life misdeeds. Whatever you have done, whatever you are doing, whatever you will do is not separate and apart from you. It is your own game. If you are suffering, it is your own choice. If you are blissful, it is your own choice. No one else is responsible. Remember this. It happened so that there was a newly appointed professor. Students addressed him as Professor Sharma. Whenever Professor Sharma used to have lunch with other professors, he noticed a strange thing. During lunch time, a young professor would sit next to him, and whenever he used to open his tiffin box, he would look inside the tiffin box and say, "Again it is potatoes and chapatis." Professor Sharma thought maybe the young professor doesn't like potatoes and chapatis. But as he was new there, he didn't say anything. Next day, the same thing happened. The young professor opened his lunch box, looked inside it, and said, "The same potatoes, the same chapatis." So then Professor Sharma said to the young professor, "If you don't like potatoes, why don't you tell your wife to make something else?" The young professor said, "Wife? What wife? I make my lunch myself." This is your life. There is nobody else. If you laugh, you laugh. If you cry, you cry. No one else is responsible. You have been stupid in the past life, and you have been repeating the same stupidity this life also. And so, unless you become aware, you will continue to bring potatoes and chapatis in your tiffin box, and you will behave as if you never knew about it. The day you will stop making the same potatoes and chapatis, you will start enjoying your tiffin box, your love life. That is the message. If you understand it, you are fortunate. You are evolving. If you don't understand it, you can make efforts, and who knows, one day you will understand the deep message that this story shares with you. Jai Sri Ganesha, Jai Guru. ॐ गं गणपतये नमः। ॐ गं गणपतये नमः। ॐ गं गणपतये नमः।